p.m. and I'm going to call to order the Tilton Planning Board meeting of, just a minute. Tilton Planning Board meeting March 28, 2017. The first order of business is to review the minutes of February 14th and February 28th, and I'm going to delay those till after the hearing the cases. The first case is Planning Board Case 17-03, the preliminary site plan conceptual consultation. Proposed to conduct a Bible fellowship meeting at 267 Main Street in the downtown district. And the applicant has requested that this be delayed until our next meeting, so that will be delayed. So our next case is Planning Board Case 17-04, site plan review. The proposal to operate an adult care facility at 100 Autumn Drive in a rural agricultural district. RC 10-2. At this time, I will turn it over to the applicant. Eric Clara has recused himself.
So we have redrafted our booklets for you, the informational booklets, and we have some for the crowd that is here this evening as well. This booklet that you're going to receive is an outline of our proposal to the board. My name is Karen Bounds, and this is Robin Fitzgerald, and we represent medical reimbursement and management services here in New Hampshire. So we came before you last month for a conceptual hearing on our proposed recovery center at 100 Autumn Drive.
Excuse me, can you please use a microphone? We can't hear you. Thank you.
The two in the front are the speakers.
The ones that are facing the So we were here last month to represent Mr. Callahan in his proposal for an adult recovery center here at 100 Autumn Drive in Tilton. And we were asked to do some very specific things, which were come back with the actual floor plan for the business. And we went one step further and explained our program in some of the materials which you have just received. But I want to start with the plan for the board. So here in red, as you can see, is the proposed area for the adult recovery center. It encompasses the screening rooms all the way across the courtyard and this side of the building, including the kitchen area. To address some of the concerns that we had about the dual use at the property, we have installed a series of doors here beyond the screening room, 2 sets of doors, and we have secured this part of the building and the building in its entirety with security cameras, not only for the adult recovery center, but for the building and the property in its totality. So clearly you can see that we have blocked off this side, and we will talk about that side afterwards, but this is the space we are talking about as we did the conceptual for use by the adult recovery center. Separate entrances will be used for the adult recovery center, and you can see them outlined on the plan. So here is the gym and the field entrance over here. And over in here and back here is the ARC entrance. So it's actually on the back side of this building where the entrance will be used for the ARC. The guests who will be residing in this side of the building will be housed in double and triple rooms. We had the police and the fire come out and view the building as was requested by the board at the last hearing. And I believe that they have submitted letters to you. Are you in receipt of those letters?
No, we have fire department, we do not have police department.
Bob, do you have the letter from the police
It
department?
was just an email sent to Derek.
I can take a look.
Take a look.
From whom?
Sergeant Morrison?
to my email address?
That's to you, yes.
All right, okay. Well,
I thought you had it, yeah, which one?
No, we received the ones from the fire department.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay, so both of those entities we visited with, and they walked the building and went through the proposal with us, and they saw no impact to the town services that would be of any concern to them. That was stated in the 2 letters, I believe, that were received by the board. There will be no additional lighting added to the building at all. What you see there is what you will have, and there will be no signage requested. Parking calculations have been submitted, and those were done in 2015 for this building. Because we will not be having vehicles coming and going from the facility, there is ample parking as the 2015 calculations laid out. So that's the building portion. Do we have questions about the building? We'll go into the program next. Into the program.
Well, after your presentation, we'll look.
Okay, great. Questions were also asked about the emergency protocols for the Adult Recovery Center. We will utilize, in the case of an emergency, a 911 system. We will also have an MA on staff. Licensed drug and alcohol counselors will also be on staff to respond to emergencies that do not require the 911. We did discuss this with the fire and the police, and they felt that it would be of minimal impact. They also visited 2 other centers in the state that are similar to what we are proposing, just so they could get an idea of how the operation was going to work. Our program is proposed as a traditional faith-based 12-step program. This is a program that people will choose of their own free will. They will come to the program of their own free will, and they will leave the program of their own free will. We plan to have admissions and intake 7 days per week by appointment only. There will be no walk-in traffic to this facility. No person who is not part of our program is planned to be on the premises at any time prior to an acceptance by us into the program. When a guest is referred to the ARC, an intake and an admission intake process will take place. Referrals will be made by a medical provider, so a licensed medical provider. We are not a detox facility, and we do no medical treatment on site. Referrals come from a variety of sources, which could include the medical provider, a local AA group, or personal contact. However, the baseline requirement is a 72-hour detox prior to any consideration for admittance into this program. Our staff will, in addition, be conducting background checks for any prospective guest. There will be coordination between the guest's medical provider and our staff to determine if the program can meet the needs of the guest and if the guest is able and ready to participate in such a program. We intend to be very selective in our admission process. Once a guest has been accepted into our program, they will arrive on site either by personal vehicle or by a loved one. If they come by personal vehicle, the keys will be taken when they come, and our staff will house that vehicle until such time as that guest chooses to leave or completes our program. There will not be additional traffic coming and going up on that street. We will also, if a guest chooses to leave or is discharged from our program, be escorting that guest from our facility to either a bus station, an airport, or their vehicle, wherever that may be. A loved one may also come and retrieve that person at any time. The guests' belongings are searched at the time of intake. So when they actually are accepted as part of our program, we will be searching everything that they bring with them. There is a complete list in your booklet of items that are not allowed in the program. We will have a zero tolerance policy. Anything that is prohibited will not be allowed within our facility. Each guest will be assigned a residential staff person at the time of intake for the duration of their stay, for a variety of reasons. They will be attending lots of sessions, 12-step study, big book study, but if a person has a medical appointment, they will be transported by our staff to and from those appointments. Supervision will be available at all times. We plan to start with an initial 16 beds in the facility and then grow based on the need within the community and the community at large. In addition to the 12-step study program, our guests will participate in many mind-body spiritual modalities as well. They will attend church services, supervise local AA group meetings, and the like. There are also weekend activities that will take them outside of this community on supervised hikes and activities. Family visitation days will be provided, and they will be provided in a schedule that we will adhere to. And that is our proposal.
All right, before we go on, I'd like the planning board members to take a look at the application form that was submitted, review that for completion.
Larry,
Yes.
was this entire packet submitted as part of the site plan, the executive summary?
Yeah,
All these exhibits were?
yeah, the actual application itself has like 15 pages, yeah.
Okay.
Any comments or questions? for the planning
On the executive summary, it mentions other occupants of the property. Quite a list. But down below in bottom, it says current tenants, none.
Yeah, we're down to, we have 2 tenants in there, that's all that's left.
All right,
We have the Tilton office.
So that's incorrect. There's still 2 tenants in the building.
At this point.
And that's beyond the sports facility.
That's correct.
There's 3 businesses operating within the property.
Correct.
It also says number of floors 2, but I read somewhere else 3.
The 3rd floor is like an attic, it's an unfinished space.
Okay, so there is a 3rd floor.
Yeah.
Back to the other tenants. 3 of your other tenants still list this as their business address as of today online.
That's correct.
So Innate View is there, Michael Marsh is there.
Michael Marsh,
And
yeah.
yes, Embroidery is there.
That's just a phone, it's just a phone, and that's my business. There's an electrolysis and there's the massage therapist, and that's it, there's no one else. All those other people, why are they still online, I have no idea.
Why are they still on your sign?
Didn't feel like, that the place completely empty and looking like it's in tough shape up there.
But you do realize our sign ordinance does not allow off-premise signage.
I'll check it off, I want to have it removed, I didn't realize that.
Under property descriptions on that same page, in that same report, it describes it as within a mixed commercial, agriculture, residential area. There's no commercial in that zone. That's an agricultural zone, which of course is residential, but it's not a mixed commercial zone. I think there's an engineering.
Is there a variance for that?
No, the zone is agricultural, period.
Zone is agricultural.
You can have a property within the agricultural zone that has variances,
I got you.
but it's,
I see.
there's an engineering report, T.R. Selling Engineering,
Yeah, oh, yeah,
and his last statement says, it appears that the system is capable of handling a design flow of approximately 1,300 gallons per day. But yet we don't know exactly how many bathrooms will be in the facility. I did hear today that there's 16 beds.
We have on the first floor and the second floor, 2 bathrooms on each floor currently. And they will be upgraded to include showers as we go through the state licensing portion of this.
I believe I read somewhere that you were working with the state on how many bathrooms you would actually need for bodies.
They know that we have 2, and we need to add shower facilities, but
But you
we
don't need
have,
more bathrooms, okay.
right, we don't need
So
more
this
bathrooms.
is an incomplete report is what I'm pointing out.
That's an old report that was included just to show the size of the system that's there. Remember, it's,
I'd be careful of the language in all the reports as it pertains to new businesses. Not my intention.
Can I ask a question, James? About the use, it says adult recovery center? And I know this is my first day on anything, but I went through all the permitted uses and I don't see that as a permitted use. I know on the paperwork that came in for us, it also said adult care facility. And I think that's 2 totally separate uses. And I'm just concerned that it's not listed as a permitted use in the.
Okay, how do you define your business? Because I too had difficulty finding that. And the definition that I came closest to was a sanatorium or a sanitarium, whichever way you want to pronounce it.
we discussed that at the conceptual hearing. We see it as an adult care center, which is a permitted use. And I remember asking that at the end of the last conceptual hearing if you felt that that definition suited us, which you all
Well,
agreed to.
we researched it since then, and one of the things, like, a sanatorium or a sanitarium, as I say, you can pronounce it either way, is an establishment that provides therapy combined with a regime as of diet and exercise for treatment or rehabilitation. And it seems to me that that's a more appropriate definition of what you're doing as opposed to adult daycare.
Yeah, it's not an adult daycare for sure, it's an adult care facility, so.
Do you agree that that's a good definition?
I would agree to that, yes.
Okay, and that presents a problem because that's not something that's permitted in the agricultural area where you are.
Okay, so when we came to the first hearing, we described it as an adult care facility fitting under that's the direction we were going. We left that hearing feeling like that was the best definition from all of you and from us. And asking the question, was it an allowed use, which we were told it was.
At that time, however, we've had, as you can see from the audience here tonight, we've had a lot of questions and concerns. And in shorting it out, it appears that that is not really the kind of facility that it is. That in fact it is probably a sanatorium.
I don't have the benefit of having your definitions in front of me this evening. I did have them at the conceptual, so
Well, that definition is from the Merriam-Webster dictionary, which,
I'm just saying what's
Yeah.
allowed and what's not, we discussed at the first conceptual.
I just want to say, I looked up adult care facility according to New Hampshire, state of New Hampshire thing, and none of the definitions for adult care, is there anything about alcohol treatment or drug rehabilitation or any of that? It's about taking care of adults that need assistance.
And
I
these
think-
folks fall,
think
we
that's a-
believe that this falls under that definition.
I think it's a bit of a stretch.
The American Disabilities Act covers that clearly, as does the Fair Housing Act. And this is providing care to adults.
Do that. One other thing, Mr. Callahan, I wanted to mention, I believe that when you came here initially, you were asked to update your driveway permit. I noticed that it's checked here that all the driveways, and I don't believe that that's ever been done. That you never updated your driveway permit from the initial visit you came to the planning board. So that also needs to be done as well.
We striping.
You need to talk to the town and update your permit, fill out the necessary forms, and file them with our code enforcement officer.
Go back to
Okay.
that.
And that was one of the conditions to open your building initially,
Yeah, that was taken care of. Okay, we'll go back to that. No problem.
all right?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I think we have to first ascertain that the board as a whole is comfortable that it falls under the adult care facility.
I'm not comfortable with that, and I would entertain a motion to table this until we can find more information.
Well, I would like to make a motion that we put this, table it or continue it and send them to the zoning board, for the zoning board to look into a variance. I believe it requires a variance.
Well, it depends on which definition we approve.
Yes,
So it wouldn't be appropriate to send them to the zoning board of adjustment at this time.
until we approve, that's why I'm suggesting that we entertain a motion to table.
I have some more questions.
We have some more
Well, we
questions.
have to accept the site plan. That's what we're in the process of, is accepting the site plan. So you,
We can accept it if it's not.
Correct. We need to table it.
yeah, we have to accept the site plan, Commissioner. Well, I'm trying to, the parking is an issue. This parking plan is from 2015? I can't, I'm
That's
sorry, I
correct.
can't
It's
read
the
this.
2015
It's a
parking
bit small.
calculation.
So this doesn't take into consideration the new facility. It doesn't take into consideration of those businesses that have left since this parking plan was created. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's less people in the building, for sure. It's less people, no car, less
That
cars.
parking plan exceeded what was required, and it still was.
Well, that's in your opinion.
103.
That's in your opinion. What we're discussing right now. So my opinion is, we've just been told that 16 beds are being added to this. This parking plan is outdated. It doesn't pertain to this current project because clearly in our parking regulations, a facility such as this, it goes by not just office space, but there's one parking space per bed, one parking space per employee, I believe.
Correct.
So this would be outdated for this site plan. Because clearly there are businesses that have left, there's businesses that remain. The sports facility is still there functioning. Okay. And I know the parking was inadequate because I experienced it. So this would have to be redone to reflect.
So are you saying, Catherine, this is not substantial?
Not with this parking plan.
Or within it, and the proposed driveway is not, we never updated the driveway, so that's not completely separate. So we can't accept that until those are complete.
This doesn't really have questions.
I know, but we're at the stage where we accept or we don't accept the application, so
Correct.
that's,
And it's incomplete, so.
you can accept it.
I make a motion to table planning board case 1704.
Or should we just not accept it as?
Until we have a completed site plan, a completed application. with all the revisions. Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
We're going to discuss all the revisions, and I didn't hold on.
So we table this until you can provide us with an updated plan. And I believe we have some more questions, so let's get all of those.
We have nothing on the water system as to if it can accommodate this type of facility. So we would need an update on what the well is and what it needs to be.
Is this required to have regular testing by DES, since you're actually having residents living on the facility? So this would be considered a public water supply, but not?
No different than the house, I mean,
You're going
Oh,
to
it's
have
a public,
it's a business.
this is a public, no, this is not a private residential home. I mean, the law allows me to drink whatever water I choose to drink, but you are supplying water to other people that don't live at this facility or the resident. So, I
We
know
have a
DES,
system in place in the building, we have softener and a water system in the
It
building.
isn't.
Yeah,
so you submit water samples to DES?
yes, yes, for the
Okay,
state.
and are they aware of this new possible facility going into this?
If the state is available, as aware of, yes, we would definitely.
Okay.
And is your kitchen have certified with the state as well?
It was when we originally put it in, and the state will be coming back out to review the facility also.
We're undertaking the state licensing process concurrently, as I said, at the conceptual hearing, but these types of places don't typically, unless you're going for a medical facility, they require a different type of oversight. And we're going for a non-medical facility.
That doesn't matter.
Doesn't
what your
matter about
kitchen's
the kitchen, the
licensed or not.
kitchen still has to be state certified. We have a senior center in Tilton with a kitchen where we serve people who come in, and that has to be state certified as well as the well.
How long do you anticipate the background checks taking?
That's out of our hands. Once you submit them, they're done by state, interstate, and usually it takes up to 10 to 12 days to get them done.
Have
And
you
it
met
can
an
take
addict
longer.
yet that'll wait 10 days to get in the facility?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Have you met an addict yet that will wait 10 days to get into the
Sure.
facility?
Sure, and some
You're
of these
dealing with a
people,
different population?
some of these people have come from other centers or have come to a point in their life where they're ready to achieve recovery. That's when they would come to us.
You keep saying you're not a medical facility, but you have medical assistants on the staff. What is there?
They are life safety trained, they have medication training, they have an abundance of training.
You told us we weren't going to have medicine.
We are going to have medicine. There's a difference. A licensed medical assistant is certified. And what she can do is manage a person's diabetic medication or other medications that they are on by administering. He or she.
Yeah. I got a list. I know you've been in discussion with Pemmy Youth Group about going in there. What's the story with Pemmy Youth Group? Are you leaving them out on the sidewalk?
No, there's plenty of room in that facility for kids.
Okay, so
to live
now
there.
we're bringing in more children.
children.
You forgot to tell us.
I guess I'm not understanding what the issue is with the children. We have two separate buildings, we put doors in place to separate the two, as well as separate entities.
You're bringing a whole nother group. You currently have the sports center,
Correct.
which is a group of families. Now we're bringing in Pemmy Youth Group, which is more children.
But those
So we're
two
adding more
populations
children.
wouldn't be mixing in that building. They would be separated.
I'm going to stop the discussion now. We tabled accepting the site, the application, So we need to stop discussion because we're actually getting into site plan reviewing, and that right now we do not know because we tabled it until we get the information we need. Okay? So thank you.
Madam Chair, can I ask you a question? If you have not decided whether their description of what they want to do on their site plan review, on their site plan application is accurate, how can you table it? Don't they have to go to zoning and determine whether their use is correct or not?
No.
At what point will you decide?
They have to convince us that what their use is. And if the use is what I had suggested, the sanitarium, then it's not allowed in the use. At that time, they would go to the zoning, not before. We don't even have a complete application right now.
Okay.
That's what we're saying.
I just don't
So the
want,
planning board can't hear the case until we have a completed application that's acceptable by the planning board.
yeah,
And we have not accepted it, we tabled it, okay?
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Secretary, that's a question. If you're gonna table it, can we all give our names on a list of people so we can at least get some type of like date, mailing, so we know when it's coming out?
It will be on, we'll put it on the town website, and it is a notice that, a notice will be in the paper. We notice all of our meetings, okay?
There, I suppose, sorry, I mean, if the board wanted to say that, they would hear it.
All right, we'll set a date, and we're having one meeting in April. Do you have a calendar on May?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have it with me, because I don't have the calendar. It's, it'd be April 11th. May is the second Tuesday in May, May 9th.
May 9th?
If you want to do it for that, that
Yes,
probably
May
makes
9th.
sense. So the case is, you're gonna make a motion to continue the case to May 9th? All right.
Yeah. Okay, so it's May 9th. Okay?
I'll make a motion to continue case planning board 17-04 until May 9th.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Opposed? All right, thank you.
I know what I'm
Bring the beer.
Thank you.
So, I mean, we deal with I never saw it until I come see it. I just wanted to build these guys. Unfortunately,
Who did it come? Who sent it? I sent it. Oh, no. What day?
these sergeants sent me next week. It was an email saying, just talking about it.
All right. Well, let's make sure we have it for the next one.
You know your chart of approved uses that you can we get another copy of that? Because I'm sort of surprised we ended up back in first base.
Yeah, I will say, because I agree, that was the last thing we talked about. Yes. Planning board does. I mean, and, you know, if they're saying that she's doing you know, that's great. When I first heard it, I said, wow.
You have the dilemma of one being undefined and one being defined, so you don't represent it or not defined, anything, we see it there. But the other piece is not being counted, CDA and the FHA are in conversation, you want to make sure they understand the it's really important for space. So I would just want to be seeing that chart of defined uses one more time, so that we can come back.
All right. I still have, the rest of the meeting. Would you mind emailing?
I will.
Okay, all right, thanks a lot.
Hey guys, I didn't want to interrupt. Hey, how are you? Thanks for coming out. I know what we wanted, but I wasn't prepared that much. So I thought sometimes you get the approval. I didn't sign all the paperwork. Are you working with Wendy? Yes. Let me tell you something right here. Oh, I know Wendy. Oh, Wendy, oh yeah. She's top notch. She's in anything. Slide right now. And, you know, find stuff.
That's the only one. What I'll do now that they sort of presented it as part of their official submission, I'll scan it and put it on the website. Do you have an email address? Okay. We've been somewhere on that.
Nice property. I won't.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I've spoken to her on the phone a few times.
This is your man right here. Hey, this is Florian. Yeah, pretty well. No, I'm not the flash, so I'm because my mother's basement. Okay.
Sorry. Sure. Is that you? That's not what I referred.
Yes, that's who I meant.
But
That's who I meant.
it was, there was like a long discussion about commas. Like one sentence, somebody said there has to be more commas. I guess that, maybe between what we're hearing and we're actually hearing the truth. There wasn't much discussion of work. There was a lot of discussion about work.
Yep.
I'm excited. I didn't see four.
Well, I guess I don't really have to be there, but I'd like to.
Yeah.
And I'll.
Yeah, I need to get on it now. Here's a big question. You know you have products, right?
Right. Yeah.
So how do you go about it?
I think we're going to have to do a real best effort communication, sending out something, then nobody can claim that they didn't know.
All right, yeah, absolutely. Hey, we're just talking about it.
There's no language in our site plan that says that zoning board says their definition of care. So in other words, regardless of the applicant may say they think that.
Yeah, right.
So we don't have any language like that. There's some language in there that pretty much covers.
Yes, I guess so. The thing I always feel like is because the zoning ordinance is the building inspector is the kind of to me says he sets the ordinance. You and I have always had this, I have this ideal, like, fake, theoretical situation in my mind where the code enforcement, officer sits there happily at his desk and he knows everything about everything, and someone walks in and says, "You need to. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do." And, you you need to go first, you need to get a variance, and this use is gonna be classified as this and that, and everything's simple, you know, the world's not like that, you know, people don't come in completely. Yeah, right. So in my mind, I guess it should be what Al says it's a sanitarium, and it's a sanitarium, another way. But then.
That's after.
No, because again, I have this utopia where he is the one who directs people to do site plan review and this and that.
Look at the site plan, there is a statement in there that he enforces our free site plan.
Yeah, I know.
So he's not here during this process, so I'm looking for something that guides us through this process. So there was an argument.
Yeah.
The chairman of the planning board should be able to call back on that.
But I think, all right, let's think about that. Let's consider it.
That's how I'm saying it to you. So now we're gonna, yeah. What the hell, dude?
One time a year, once in a lifetime thing.
Families come first? What's that? Where are you going? East Coast or?
All down all the way down to Williamsburg, Virginia. Yeah.
Sure.
I think that it probably is, the planning board says goes, you know.
Yes, I gave it to you for thought,
Yeah, right.
so mull it over. Talk about definitions.
Sounds good, yeah.
I'm not saying like this is one sentence is valuable, but they're making a difference. No, but that's why I was.
Second to last one at the bottom.
All right.
Judy, where's they want? Oh, that's right.
Take it back off. All right, sorry about that.
Okay, the next order of business is, the minutes. So if you haven't had an opportunity to review the minutes, please review the minutes of February 14th and February 28th. Eric has correction.
On the minutes of February 28th, I just want to put down, recuse myself because I was employed by the applicant.
Okay. Wait, what does it say? It says
It just says I
Says
recuse
you
myself for
recused
the case
himself.
only,
So you'd like to add it in there because,
because I don't want to just say, I
He
want,
wants to add, because he was an
add.
employee.
Okay,
I'm an employee of the
The-
applicant.
okay. The reason I wrote only is because I was trying to say that's the only case you're recusing yourself from.
Yeah, but
Okay,
I just want
okay.
the reason why.
That's
Okay.
what I thought too.
Yeah,
I just want the reason in there.
So, Mr. Pyra recused himself for case 1704 because he is employed by the applicant?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of February 14th and February 28th as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, the next order of business is correspondence. Did everybody get the copies of the letters, by the way, that people who objected to the,
just one.
just
one
one?
email.
Yeah.
And then there was a letter, can you make sure everybody gets a copy of the letter?
Everyone has the Tom Mead email, actually.
Correct. What
And
about the Tim Joubert?
everyone has that, and the fire, I don't believe I ever received that. So,
Police.
I mean, police, yes, police.
That probably was never sent.
Can we make a note of that in the minutes for this
Yeah.
meeting, that that was not received by the planning board?
Yep.
Yeah.
Since I just had that discussion
Yep.
for about 5 seconds.
Did he say that they did it?
Dari says he doesn't believe he received it.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, and we have 3 notices of lot mergers, and I believe the same owner.
It's actually just 2 of them. I put a
There's
copy.
2, there's 1, okay, and then there's Cropsey. And you know the little building where it's the one down on Main Street, right? The Cropsey one,
Where the store is?
where the store is?
I believe
Right,
so.
but not where the store is, where the little FTD shop is.
Yeah.
Is it that?
To be perfectly honest, because those are really not optional, because they must, you kind of have to agree to them, I didn't invest any time in
I
researching it.
believe it's the chiropractor's
I'm
office
saying-
behind the
Chiropractor's
store.
office, because they cut a tree down there.
Behind the
Okay.
store.
All right, okay,
You couldn't block that because the other gas station.
okay. So does everybody approve of accepting these?
Make a motion to accept.
I mean, it's really,
Yeah, we don't accept them, that's an
Explanation.
FYI.
Oh, okay.
They
No,
are.
they have to-
I'll
they have
just-
to be signed.
Yeah, I mean, let me just explain why I stuck those in there. There is some debate as to whether these need to be signed at a planning board meeting or not. So, in the past, I've worked with folks who just sign them. You get the planning board chairman in whenever she can be there and sign it. But because there's debate, I want to make sure we're covered in any aspect, so that's why it's there.
Why did you give them all of a sudden? I never saw them before in my life.
Usually in the past, I just asked you to sign them when you were
Okay,
stopping in.
when I was sleeping.
Well, there would be homework to do with these, to make sure that they, are at least abutting lots.
I
You know what
will
I
do
mean? There is
that. I
homework
will
to
do
do.
that. I figured, that's the requirement. So if for any reason that's
And I
not
could
what
think
they.
of reasons why they wouldn't be approved.
I think state law says planning board shall approve them. If they're abutting, if it creates like a zoning nonconformity, yeah.
Yeah.
But how? It'd be hard to create a zoning nonconformity by merging lots.
Or if there was a right-of-way that would be constricted, or,
Yeah.
What about
Was
if,
was it 654?
TRSA?
Yeah.
We snatched it right on the
I'm sorry.
what if someone was,
674,
Colin.
39, dash little a, And the other thing is a letter, this is dragged on. We were waiting to get information from Belknap Landscape, which we never received. And Dari, I asked Dari to follow up on that and see why we hadn't gotten the information. And I guess Dari sent him to the Conservation Commission. And Kathy Mitchell sent a letter which basically said, well, I'll read the letter. Good morning, Dari. It's from Kathy Mitchell. Andrew Morris of Belknap Landscape attended the TCC meeting Monday night to discuss the various snow dump test results. We had a productive meeting and will continue to be in touch with him. TCC members asked for the missing page 5 from the September 7th, 2016 packet, as well as the cover letter for the December 20th, 2016 results. Andrew just sent those today. I have forwarded them to the Commission and I'm including them in the email for you and the Planning Board. The TCC plans to contact New Hampshire DES to see if it is possible to develop baseline standards that will assist the town in monitoring this site. Kathy Mitchell, so that's good. So even if we don't have a soil test from them, we will have baseline so that it can be monitored. Okay? That's a very good thing. Next order of business is to elect a chair for the Planning Board. So I'll open the floor for nominations for chair for the Planning Board.
I nominate Judy.
I second that.
You're way too quick.
Any other nominations?
That means you have to be here.
You stepped away.
Any other nominations? All right, all in favor of Judy, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Here, dear.
Well, that doesn't
Not
now.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
What about a vice chair?
Oh, vice chair,
And don't you need, who signs the
Yes, clerk of the works or whatever.
the secretary.
the secretary?
Oh,
That's Jules's.
Yeah, but the
Yes,
terms
right,
are only
right.
for a year,
yeah, right.
so they have to be re-elected each year.
All right, vice chair, floor is now open for nomination for vice chair. I nominate Eric Carr.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
If we nominate him as vice chair, can we still keep her on another year as clerk of the works?
If somebody recommend, nominate her.
Nominate Jules as secretary.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Done.
Good job.
All right. Now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Do we want to
Secretary.
talk about this definition, Snapper, we seem to be in an argument with?
Yes. Is this an appropriate time? to-
Yeah, I don't mean to be like standoffish, but how do you approve a use if you don't know what it is?
Well,
I mean, shouldn't every permitted use have a definition if everything was perfect in the world?
If everything was perfect in the world, but that's the problem.
Right. So do we
And,
make notes of them so that we can get them in there?
well, our charter permitted uses, yeah, we don't, somebody comes up and they give it a different name than what we've used. So the question is, she's described what the facility is, and she's actually used a couple different terms. So from that, we garner a description. Where does it best fit within our charter permitted uses? Sanatorium, adult care facility? I mean, I don't think it's a nursing home.
Well, the adult care facility is listed as a permitted use, but there's no definition for it.
No, but in the world out there, and I would probably go to the state, like the state fire marshals, I'm sure has a definition of what an adult care
I
facility
pulled it
is.
off, I pulled
Or
it off of
other towns
the
probably
Human
have a definition.
Services, I pulled it off of their website. Health and Human Services in Concord.
Yeah, so adult care facility to me means an adult who, for whatever reason, whether it's age or handicap or whatever, cannot care for themselves, and it's more of a long-term facility. Although it could be short-term, somebody like health self is a short-term.
But that's not an
And
adult
right here
care.
is the one, this is what
That's
the
a
state,
rehab.
this is what the state says. It says, a residential care facility provides support for adults who qualify for care in residential settings. Residential care facilities are community-based settings that allow for maximum individual independence while tailoring services to individual needs. Often these settings are appropriate for frail seniors and adults with disabilities who need more personal assistance and supervision than possible with care at home. That's what was on the state's health and human
But
services.
that doesn't say adult care facility.
That was, no, that was at the top. I said, I Googled it and said, the definition of adult care.
Right, but
And
that,
that's what came up.
okay, but that's not defining an adult care
But
facility.
my point was, it doesn't say anything about alcohol or
So,
rehab.
Wouldn't necessarily have to, it's not gonna say all the different diseases, it could be a lot of different diseases. It could be stroke, it could be cancer, it could be
I know.
Right.
multiple sclerosis, it could be
That's why a definition would be
ALS.
nice, because then we would know what we're talking about. We had a standard definition in our site plan, or zoning ordinance.
Yes,
We
we
had
could.
standard.
We have very few definitions in our zoning ordinance,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
well, in our site plan, we can correct without, oh, somebody over there is waving their hands.
Poor Eric, his
Are they waving
arm's
at each
gonna
other?
fall off.
My question for a point of clarification is, I believe the definition that we want to would be under land usage. Isn't there some type of planning dictionary? I remember when I was before the board before,
It would be in here.
no, but there was a, I found it online, and I actually tried to find that same thing, but it was from like 3 years ago. But there was a document that I found that was like part of a planner's dictionary, for lack of a better word, or land use dictionary, but I think it was called a planner's dictionary. And it had all these different things, and it had definitions of that.
That would be helpful.
And I'll try to find it, sorry, because
Okay.
when I just said planner's dictionary, that's the word that I couldn't find before, so.
Okay,
saying
yeah,
out loud.
yeah,
So I will try to find it, and
Um,
it was something online, and you can,
Okay, it's 483B,
so.
I think, is what it
The only
said.
one, Catherine.
No.
But I think, you know, Deb is right, that there's no substitute for having it actually defined within our own ordinance, and we could, you know, it's in zoning, so it would have to be
Some workshops?
Doesn't really
it would have, well, it is, right, it would have to do work, but I think no reason why one of our zoning amendments next year should not be to include a definition for
Yeah.
adult care facility. I
Right, but
think
it
we learned our
won't
lesson
impact
here.
this case.
Because that's what we did with wetlands.
Yeah, yeah.
When we had the wetlands, we
Right.
put definitions in there.
And maybe we ought to address, substance abuse facilities too, if that's gonna start coming up.
Well, this case is definitely gonna come down to definition, because
Yeah.
that was obvious. I mean,
So we have to figure out.
at one point, she was being set up by somebody.
What?
Nice job, by the way, Jane.
If I could just interject, I
Yeah,
think,
she
you know,
agreed with me.
I know.
I think it's important that if we do continue this discussion tonight, that we not sort of specifically continue to relate it to the particular case, because we're not deliberating that case right now. What was I going to say? Shoot.
I think in each of our minds, we need to
Second
go
part of what I was
forward and
gonna
look at
say,
these
sorry.
definitions and for ourselves,
Oh,
independently determine what we feel,
And see what other.
yeah.
Well,
and then
And-
come back at the next meeting.
feel though.
So, something, another thing is if something,
What planning is, if there's no direction.
But doesn't one definition trump the other? If we have state definitions, that's probably the one that we should go with.
Why?
yeah, why?
Can
Well,
somebody,
because you can find a definition, all kinds of definitions anywhere. We can just tailor it to whatever we want for that particular time.
To me, a widely circulated dictionary is probably the, you know, in many cases is if you're really trying to get at intent and what the, you know, the layman's meaning of a word is, or maybe not, you know, sometimes, I don't think you can always say one particular source is the right source. But one thing I was going to say,
That's my point.
if something can be defined, if something falls into two lines of the charter permitted uses, so if you guys were to say, this could, you know, part of what they do is, it falls under adult care facility, and part of what they do falls under sanatorium or sanitarium, it would, and one is permitted and the other is not permitted, it seems like you kind of have to say, okay, well, it's not permitted, because it fits in the definition of something that's not permitted in that district.
Yeah.
Kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, I'll certainly continue to research this as we prepare for next time, but that's kind of one thought I have. So, if, you know, and when Chairman Alden, I'm kind of going against what I said, when she read the definition of sanitarium, you know, seems to encompass a lot of uses, including potentially the one you have before you.
I think at this point,
And it's also in our zoning charter of use, that's why I
Right.
picked on it.
I think in this case, we can only be comfortable in our own minds what we feel, what she has described the use of, as to what is the definition. Then we need to go forward and look at our chart of permitted uses and have definitions for this stuff.
If it's not in our permitted uses, what's the next step? I'm just trying to get clear.
But it is, you have two definitions in your chart of permitted uses
That
that could
potentially cover
possibly
this.
describe this.
What if we don't like either one of those? What if we don't feel it meets the need?
And we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah. I've heard,
That's what-
and I'll research more on that question that Ms. Shepherd just asked, but, you know, I've certainly heard people say if something's not, professionals say, that if something's not in your chart of permitted uses, then it's not permitted.
Something's not in your chart.
They can't go to the zoning board for variance or special exception if it's not listed in our permitted uses.
No.
They have to have a reason
I
to
don't-
go to the ZBA, and until we give them one.
Yeah, I don't know that, it seems to me you should, if it's not in your chart of permitted uses, it'd be hard to believe that would restrict you from being able to go to the ZBA to seek a variance, but I'll look into that.
I mean, once they're denied, then they have, here you go.
Yeah, right.
Can I bring up another thought? If this is gonna be so fully attended, should we look at a different location for the next one?
All of our records are in this building.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's true.
no,
If we have to grab one,
We can put more chairs, we can make it more.
wait 15 minutes to go down to town hall and get her stuff, and we'll be right back.
If we had the AV all set up properly, or the V, I guess the audio, would this room be okay?
Yeah.
Oh, just there were so many people standing in that back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but there were some chairs that weren't taken too.
I don't hear the PA.
Yeah.
Like I know when we used to have budget up here,
Right.
you could hear the PA.
I don't think it was on.
turned on.
It's not on.
It's not on. Did you turn it on?
I don't know anything about it.
Wait,
but-
It's not on.
It wasn't turned on.
He's gonna get a lesson on it before the next time.
Yeah, okay.
Is that on the room?
Somebody show him how to
That
turn it
picks
on.
some audio.
Yeah.
Or only if it's turned on.
Did you put a tape recorder on the table?
Yeah.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
there.
Okay, so there's our audio.
Yeah, people are.
What I'm saying,
Yeah.
there were people who were starting to get kind of upset because they couldn't hear everything. HD.
So your mission before the next meeting is to get the PA to work.
I think it's
Okay.
it's just a flick of the
Well, just
switch.
learn how to turn it
Heck
on.
no, Cal, why didn't you turn it on?
She probably, I didn't think to do this because I get scolded when I do this. So I didn't think to do it at the beginning of the meeting. Tim can tell you, and Al can tell you too. So, motion to adjourn?
Second? All in favor?
Well, yeah.
Aye. Opposed?
What did you just say?
Oh, with your feet.
No,
Didn't work.
Sorry, honey, here's your planning board correspondence.
Thank you.
Just put that on top.
Take this.
It's fine.
That's for your file.
Now, everybody's witness, see the big clip, but
So
you're
we're
in the
not-
back.
Ah,
we're not meeting April 25th?
well, you guys can. I just won't be here, so I don't see much point in that. Just kidding. Just kidding.
He's a vital part.
Well, that's kind of like saying we're used.
Just a joke.
Back when I started the
useless
planning
out
board,
here?
we only met once a month.
Completely a joke.
Remember?
You guys will have your
Remember
most
that?
productive meeting ever if I'm not here.
I'm coming back from 5 days in DC. I'll take the day off.